Now comes the cell wall. The plant cell, apart from the plasma membrane, they have a rigid outer covering, and this rigid outer covering is known as the cell wall. And this cell wall, it is made up of cellulose, and it provides the structural strength to the cell. As we discussed before, if the plant cell, it is placed in the hypotonic solution, then what happens? The cell swells, but it don't burst, because this cell wall, it protects the cell from getting burst. And this cell wall is non-living in nature. So this is the property of the cell wall, that it prevents the cell from bursting. Also, when the cell is placed in some hypertonic solution, or when there is loss of water, then what happens? That this protoplasm, it shrinks from its cell wall and it detaches. Detached means its contents, it slightly moves away from the cell wall, and when this happens, then this phenomena is known as the plasmolysis. Now we shall discuss about the nucleus in detail. So the nucleus is the dark colored oval structure which is present at the center of the cell, and it has the membrane, and it is the double membrane. So also this nuclear membrane has pores between these membrane, and these pores allow the movement of material inside and outside, inside of the nucleus to the outside of the nucleus. And here there are two structures of the cell. Here this is a dividing cell in which the DNA or the genetic material is arranged in the form of chromosome. These rod-like structure, they are the chromosome, and this cell represents the non-dividing cell. Here the genetic material is present as in the form of entangled thread, and this entangled thread is known as the chromatin, and this chromatin is basically the DNA. So this DNA has it has one functional part which contain the information, the genetic information, such as what height you should have, what should be the color of your eyeball, or what color skin tone you should have. All these information, they are contained in the functional part of the DNA, that is known as the gene. And this gene, it is present here in this mass of thread as well as here in the chromosome. And there are cells like this nuclear membrane is present in the eukaryotic cell, but in prokaryotic cell this nuclear membrane is not present. For example, consider this cell. Here the genetic material is present at the center. It is concentrated here at one portion, but it is not surrounded by any nuclear membrane, and this region is known as the nucleoid. What this region is known as? This region is known as the nucleoid region. Now we shall discuss about protoplasm. Protoplasm constitutes of cytoplasm and the nucleoplasm. The region which is present between the plasma membrane and the nucleus, that region is known as the cytoplasm, and here the various cells organelles, they are suspended in the cytoplasm, and here in the center it is the nucleus, and inside this nucleus the fluid portion that is present is known as nucleoplasm. The cytoplasm, it constitutes of about 90% of water, 7% of protein, 2% of carbohydrate and lipid, and 1% of vitamin and minerals. So this cytoplasm and nucleoplasm both constitute the protoplasm. The protoplasm is a semi-fluid jelly-like viscous substance.